So I helped Dave put the banner up.
Oh, thank you. Just came in one.
I got a whole bunch of stuff I can donate to.
All right, word. Thanks very much.
Nothing
Spread
fits
the
me
word.
anymore.
Yeah. Spread the word.
Yeah, but it took good, sir.
Yeah, no, they did a really nice job.
Side.
Yeah, they did a really nice job. Hopefully that'll bring some revitalization to
I
that.
think Dottie's gonna be working, so, and I gotta bring her over to the station.
Okay.
One of the girls downstairs can do that.
Yeah, Rick, we'll get it done. Yeah, just give me a holler.
Do a background check on it. If you have to lock her up, lock her up.
No, so we're not like
I ain't gonna bail her out. I don't need money.
Ah, there you go.
I'll come visit.
We won't lock her up.
All right.
Thank you.
I cut out like 12, 13 slides. I'm going straight to the final. I have. It was like 39. It's down to like 29. Yeah, but I'm gonna go through them.
Hi, Tammy.
I've been through this thing 3 times now, and I'll say this. I know this is the fourth time it is for the public. I'm just gonna go over high level stuff. I won't get into the individual details. And if you have something, I'll go right to the bottom line of each one.
479 passes.
No, I didn't see a thing.
And Ryan said they
That hurt.
coach me. No shit, really? Yeah, I'll coach them. The Jets won.
Yeah, that's the 2-0, right?
1-1, I think. I think they 1-1.
Good for you. Oh, that's great. You speak better than that Steve Belden.
Are you sitting up front here? Are you sitting up here?
Yes.
You're supposed to be in the back, aren't you?
Just on get.
Oh, they killed them
Okay.
now. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Same as last year. Take them a little while.
Staying or going?
Make up for Reed this time. Tough one to
Yeah.
fill.
I don't know what.
Yeah, I know.
What she came over to our house last
Played
night.
good last night.
I don't know. Tomorrow with her.
I just got some shit. I'm like, you know what?
Going to be at the Presbyterian Church, of course. So on and so forth.
The logo
I think the obituaries are going to be in Sunday's paper.
What are you laughing about?
Okay.
What are you laughing
I don't know. I only heard part of this. You guys just don't worry about the logo. Get it over.
You're right. The Jets
What
are
do you
2-0.
care what it looks like?
Anthony, they are 2-0. Dolphins and Bills are 1-1.
You expect to care what it looks like.
Your vehicle. Let it go.
Look, you short timer.
I don't want to touch it.
She said that she'll be letting go for the moment.
A lot less moving around. A lot less stressed out.
Hey, Steve, look at Jack over there. Jack looks always so. Jack, look, he's so serious.
Oh, yeah. This guy? Oh, are you kidding me? Well, that's always. It's just like a smile. You crack a smile, break your face if you smile, this guy. We've always had power.
You're all right, Jack. I don't care what Steve said about you.
Hey.
You're all right.
They cut you take.
Get just next to this guy, you know, it's like, hey,
I can't.
oh yeah.
They got you and Palmer on tape.
It could always be worse.
It's on tape and Tyler
It could
talking.
always be worse. Always on. Yeah.
Hey, Steve,
What's up, sir?
give him a call, huh, tomorrow? Give him a call.
Hey, son.
How you doing?
All right.
Give Emerald Lake a call. I mean, Addison Creek. Because they still haven't touched anything out there. It's getting longer and longer, and my phone don't stop ringing. I thought they were going to fix it. I said, yeah, when they get it, but I mean, they don't take it'll take them an hour to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. As my finger, yeah. And it comes quick too, you know, once you schedule.
You the Jets or Giants?
Not a problem.
Yeah, the Giants and Dolphins.
You get beat up.
So it's not bad.
Oh, the Giants are, what, 0-2?
Get my device.
When they opening up the store?
That commercial that does it.
Oh, you did open it
They opened it
today?
up today.
The Direct TV. They're all doing that Direct TV commercial.
Oh, Wayne, how are you?
They're up there today. I don't know how they did. I know there was some people.
Hey, Tyler.
Doing well, John. How are you?
How are you, Tyler?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Trying to revitalize that little plaza.
Not that we're doing
It'd be
it.
nice to be able to get shops in there.
What's that?
Coming in and playing.
Oh, no, we'll do a bit of it.
There's two up on the dais, you got far more issues than I do. I don't know what I got.
I mean, if you want, I can see that they're starting.
We're just gonna get the meeting for the fire department.
Congrats.
Mr. Bovary, how
Yeah,
are
but
you?
it's.
Then you, I said I did.
I'm just getting around to saying hi to you.
That's the trouble right now.
That's pretty good. That's huge.
So you had coffee with Rich this morning?
No, he's in Chicago. He's in Chicago dodging bullets.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, I was texting him back and forth.
Man, this is Chicago.
He asked me how you were doing, and she was doing better, and bang, bang. No. Tyler said hi. He said hi.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. Mr. Hampton, how are you?
You all right?
That he was really.
I can't complain. Doesn't do any good. Nobody pays any attention.
Yeah, that's what I say too.
Oh, yeah.
I think I can today.
I need to know.
All right.
These are dug out of the back of the closet.
I thought you were gonna go today.
After I went over to Orlando and back today, knew I had this tonight. I said, no, the 3 outings is too much. So I'll wait.
Yes, sir.
I'm giving a presentation, doesn't that provide any
I got 6 o'clock.
I got 6 o'clock too.
Giving you a presentation, doesn't that provide any relief?
It's a little fast.
I'm giving a presentation, does that provide you any relief?
It gives me relief.
Not really, right?
See if you can keep it to 1,000 words or less, would you?
I'll try.
I know it's hard for you.
Man, Mickey was saying that all yesterday.
Yeah.
They were here for a couple hours.
I know it's hard for you, but see if you can manage it, will you?
Right, Mickey? John's going to be talking a lot tonight.
No, short, real short.
No, okay.
We whacked like, what, 12, 13 slides out of that presentation?
Good.
Just so we get to the bare.
I mean, we've been through it 3
minimum.
times
Then I'm
now.
going right to the
Yeah.
bottom line. I'm not going to go over
Right.
each
We've been through it 3 times
Right to the
now.
bottom
Yeah,
line.
you pretty much got it.
Because I'm going to emphasize, this is the 4th time you've seen this.
Okay, 4th time, all right.
Everybody ready?
Yeah, Mike's getting coffee, of course.
Oh.
Did you know
Wait,
Earl Petty?
Earl?
From the sheriff's office? Well, he retired from the sheriff's office. He was commander of the South Precinct.
He's always like that. You don't like to be
He
early.
was SF, he was
You don't like to be
master
early. He's
sergeant.
always like that.
Oh,
Unlike you and I. Always, you know.
Good guy.
Getting
He died
noticed.
today.
Really?
Good guy.
Sit next to sit down.
Sorry, man. Real people don't get sick.
Eh?
That's my answer, man. Real people don't get sick. I don't get sick.
I sure
Black
am.
magic, baby.
I sure am glad I'm a real people.
He's talking about the flu bug.
Yeah, keep it over there, will you? Mike, you stay in between us, will you?
Yeah, man. I'm the buffer zone.
There you go.
Yes,
Mickey,
sir.
are the lights all on?
You having an episode?
Yeah. It looks like the lights are dimmer on that side.
Hey, man.
I'm having an episode.
All right. Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Watch out for John there.
Yeah, well, I'm all right, brother.
3-foot rule.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
6 o'clock.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming this evening.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with the invocation with Chief Prince. How you doing? Thank you.
Great. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all you do for us, and we thank you for being here with us tonight as we go about doing the business for the city of Cocoa. We ask you to be with our leaders as they make decisions tonight that affect the city for the next year. And Father, we thank you for all that you do for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Face flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
One nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, very good. We're going to start with a roll call.
Mayor Parrish?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Warner? Here. Councilman Blake?
Present.
Councilman Bovair?
Here.
Councilman Burbish?
Here.
City Attorney Garganese? I'm here. And City Manager Takanich?
Here.
Thank you.
He's feeling all right. He's not sick.
John's gonna make an amendment.
Okay,
Yeah, we're going to go to the agenda in the minutes. John, you have a correction?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Under public hearings, the correction is to approve Resolution 2015-063, establishing the final millage rate. You have the correct one on your desk, but it just, they got misworded in the actual agenda, but it was advertised correctly.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda with the regular meeting of September 22nd with the amendments.
Can we just
And-
do that?
That's
No,
what we just
we
did.
approved his adoption,
Right.
right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then approve the minutes of the regular meeting of August 25th, 2015, as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Was that right?
You're right.
You're right. You're good, Don.
Don't rub it in now. Just don't get carried away.
Well, I'm looking at Carrie, and she's just looking at me.
Okay, we go to awards
She
and
got it.
presentations.
Throw me under the bus, Carrie.
Admiral Wayne Justice is up. Our port commissioner, thanks for
Yeah.
coming.
Thank you. What's up? How you feeling? Good. Good.
F5.
Bear with me here for a second.
F5.
What's that?
F5.
All right.
I suspect that came from Lake.
I wanted to advance.
Did Mickey say that?
F5.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
council members,
Yes.
staff, good evening.
Good evening.
Good
It's
evening.
a pleasure to have the opportunity to come and just give a little a port update. And I'm going to flip through these slides, and I got a little red dot thing here, so you all may want to turn around a little bit, or if need be, I'll call attention to it. But anyhow, and I'm going to start off just with an ounce of history, because I'm going to be questioned and checked about the history here. I better get it right. Right, Captain Ed?
You're right, son.
Okay.
Done.
He call everyone son.
He can do that.
Right.
He's over-
Okay, just real quick, the port was dredged. Just remind everybody, 1951 to 1955, the port was dredged. The port was open officially in 1953.
Wow.
That might be Captain Ed there.
Which one, the Jubilee?
I think he did sail the first boat in.
This is how we look now.
Nina de Santa Maria.
And just always, I like to make a point here and remind everybody that while the port looks like this, the port property actually extends out, into the lagoon here. And if wanted to or need be, that could be land just like this. It never used to be, but is now.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
that's created there
Yes,
on the northern side?
that's correct.
Okay.
Yes. I want to draw attention, just remind everybody here that in addition to all the port business that we have, that I'll focus on tonight, we have national security type of issues with the Air Force launching, and certainly with NO2, the Naval Ordnance Test Unit, which brings in intercontinental ballistic submarines who have intercontinental ballistic missiles, that they take these missiles, they disarm them, and the submarines go out and launch them. And that's a mission it's been here a long time, it's going to be here a long time. Very important. Making a point that this port, like all of our nation's ports, are strategic assets. They're important nationally, they're important regionally, they're important locally, and they are a vital piece, particularly to our transportation infrastructure. The important number on this is my only really word slide. Right now, of our $70+ million a year revenues, profit that we bring in, 80% comes from cruise. And that's an awful lot. And just take away that message is that's putting all your eggs in one basket, and we believe that we need to continue to try to diversify. I'm going to quickly hit our 4 business lines: cruise, cargo, recreation, and real estate. Of course, without deep water, without a harbor, with a channel and a harbor here, we have nothing. So we've recently gone from 44 to 46 feet, and we're on our way to over 50 feet. We are blessed here with benign dirt, just sand, okay? Other ports, if you read about them, particularly down in Miami, for example, there's corals, all kinds of challenges for dredging. We just have nice dirt, and we pick the dirt up, and we put it on piles here, and we figure out what to do with it later, but that's what we're doing here. Cruise Terminal 1, if you haven't been out there, I recommend a visit. $104 million completed in just over a year, and this includes the parking lot, the terminal, and all the prep work for the dock there, for the wharfage. Most importantly, the key to as I've learned, a good cruise ship terminal is that there is no terminal there. You get in, you drop your bags, and you get on that ship, and it should be a seamless. It's not an event place. It's not an exciting place. It's just functionality. Moving people is the name of the game, and of course, being secure. And so now we get to tie up. This is the 3rd largest cruise ship class in the world, which is home ported here. Next summer, the Oasis class, the largest ships in the world, will be tied up right here, and it's a great move forward for our port. Just numbers: 4 million this year, maybe to 5 million, on to 6 million. The cruise industry is a global market, and they are just it's upward movement, upward slanting number there, and we need to be, and we're going to be up to the task. If they want to bring bigger ships in here, we got to be ready for it. I'm going to make a point. I'll move this on, and this is what happens on a real busy day. Twice last year, and actually twice this year, we had 6 ships tied up here. 45,000 people in one day moved through the port.
Wow.
Okay, and these aren't locals. These are 45,000 people from out of this county came through the port. Our next step, and we just approved last month, cruise ship terminal 5 and 10. We've got we have a contract for Norwegian Cruise Line to bring their largest ship into here. So we need to make that terminal bigger, and Carnival wants to put a bigger ship here. We need to make this terminal bigger. So we've approved the loans to do that. As well, Disney, of course, who's our backbone here, they need some, that's getting a little long in the tooth in that terminal as well. We're going to build a new pier. This is Terminal 5, Terminal 10, and new piers mainly, but also facelift on the terminals and improving the traffic flow, that sort of thing. Bottom line, I always make a point, and you understand it and you get it here, but I can't underscore it enough. There's no walls around our port. As a cruise ship destination point, we've got ships that come in, we have protocols. We've got tours that go to Cocoa Village, Cape Canaveral, anywhere. And you got a business, you want to get people off those cruise ships, you're welcome to work it out. And I can't encourage that enough. I know you know that, but I'm going to say it. Okay, shifting, I'm going to talk real quick on real estate here and retail world. This is, we call it the Cove. Phase 1, if we got grills up here, and we just approved, actually last Friday, we had a whole workshop and a formal meeting on this, and we have a national level developer, Sooner Developers, we hired them, and they're coming in and they're going to build and fill these buildings here with retail, and we've got national level credit worthy type brands coming in, and as they get built out, we're going to continue to open up and to get more leases. And again, just remember, these are people that live here, they're going to be working here, and these are jobs as well as opportunities for tourists to come in. We've got one hotel, a high-end, full-service hotel, medium size or smaller. It's going to be going down at this end, and there's the Exploration Tower right there. So this is phase one of this development. In the meantime, we're also getting some work done up on the waterfront by the people who have leases up there. All right, cargo. You know, everybody knows Morton Salt, been there a long time. We got the cement guys. They actually may even open up again. It's been a while since they've moved any cement through there. We've got slag that goes out. It's an export. Obviously, the fuel oil, this oil that comes in here gets piped to the cruise ships, and we fuel them. That's obviously a significantly important piece to their ability to come in here. Cargo as well, we're looking, and we just announced, it was in the paper just this week, we've got cars, automobiles coming in. They're going to come in up there, I think at the beginning, but we've also got this property down here that we're working to make for car processing, automobile processing. And you know, paving and a processing center is we got that on tap, ready to go, and we're going to start getting business. Okay, containers. That's truly the way forward with cargo. We have a long-term deal, a contract now with a global 15-country level shipper, and Gulf Tanner USA, hiring American people, putting them to work right here, you know, is online, and our challenge, of course, continues to be progressing the transportation infrastructure that we need to move that cargo. A couple of weeks ago, I was in Dubai. This is you know, a big time operation for containers. These are the largest cranes in the world, and they've got 18 of them there, moving tens of thousands of containers. We're not doing that, obviously. We look like this. So, but we're starting. We're at the ground floor, and we got cranes. We've got our dock improved, and we're going to have containers coming in, and then of course we need to move them out of here. There's two ways to move containers. You can move them by car. Excuse me, you can move by bus. Not by bus. You can move them by truck. You can truck them, or you can put them on a train. Train's a lot less pollution. It's a lot cheaper, a lot more efficient, and we all know, because if you don't know, you're briefed daily about it in our fine paper, about our rail issues, and we're working real hard to work with the Air Force to find a route through the Air Force Base, and let's make a point again that this decision is made by the Surface Transportation Board, a federal agency that does this for a living. They do the environmental impacts, they scout out, they take inputs, and they make decisions, and we're probably about 7 or 8 months from moving forward on that. I'm going to wrap up here, but the last couple of things I want to talk about is really exciting. We've got a limited amount of space on that, on the port property, and we're going to move cargo. So what we need is distribution centers, what we've done. This is Titusville, Route 1, just north of the old power plant. Last month we had a groundbreaking ceremony, and we were building 250,000 square feet of warehouse that is leased and is going to be filled. We will take the containers by truck up to there. There's a rail spur, and we will put them on a train, and they'll go on their way from here. I got to tell you, those of us we all live around here, seeing some new construction on Route 1 in Titusville is pretty exciting. As well, in our own home here, we got the property over on Cox Road, I-95, 524. This property has been purchased by the port, and we're in the first phase now of trying to improve it. You all know this property, I know, and I can't be more excited. Let me just talk real quick where we're at. As we're working the permitting side of it, and we're in constant communications with the important players here as far as improvements go. But the key here is that there's a whole lot of wetlands, a whole lot of lowlands that need to be raised up. That takes dirt. Guess what we have?
Dirt.
We've got dirt. And so last month we spent we let a $900,000 contract to a local trucker who's going to move dirt from the port out to here. And we're going to It's going to, a big pile right here, and then it's going to be all spread out. And you all know better than I do as far as construction goes, the steps that go into that. But I can't be more excited about that, and we're moving this forward, heading toward warehouse, office, retail, restaurants, and this is going to be, we're hoping 5 or 6 years from now you won't recognize this. I'm sure of that. And with that, talked a little quick. My last pitch, of course, is that it's all about partnerships. I get it, we get it, and we're absolutely committed to improving this national asset, particularly the transportation infrastructure side of this national asset. With that, please, any questions?
Great job.
Go ahead.
I don't have a question. I just would like to make a comment, Admiral, that we're really excited that you all are moving part of your new development to Cocoa. It's wonderful for us. We're looking forward to the jobs and the opportunities that are going to be out there. I know I get questions every day from citizens about what's the port doing, what's it going to mean for jobs. And then I'm also getting questions from people who live out there going, what's it going to mean for my house and how many trucks are going to be driving down my street in the middle of the night. So I know that's going to come up as you all start to develop. I know our staff is excellent, and I know that they will work with you to make sure that the public is informed and that we don't have any issues with the public being unhappy like you've been experiencing here lately. So we want to make sure the citizens in Cocoa are always informed about what's going on out there and get an opportunity to put their 2 cents worth in so they don't feel like they're being ignored.
Sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
That's good.
Mayor,
Mr.
may
Blake?
I?
Well, 1 second, Captain. Well, go ahead.
Go ahead, let him go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wayne, can you go to the first picture?
Talking about all those ships on the,
He is in there. He's going to tell us about it now.
I'm trying to tell you, he was on Jubilee.
Yeah, he's there.
So that's him, the first picture, that's him in the rowboat out there.
That's him right there.
There we go.
That's the way this place looked like when I first came in here 60 years ago. You see that little jetty pecking out there? Well, we couldn't come in because we didn't have enough draft when we were loaded. So we went outside and beached her outside, right there, put her on the beach, and that's how we loaded her. Now, the next time we did come in, and you see that little jut there, that's an old pier. And we went in alongside of there, but I had to have 10 guys on watch around the clock because any little wind, we would have tore it out of there. That's the way that looked when I first came into Cocoa, into Cape Canaveral.
The Indians would get them.
I'm excited by the fact that he can remember that.
It's wonderful. Absolutely.
That's good to know. Mr. Blake?
Yes, sir, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioner Justice, Port Commissioner Justice, sir, as they enhance the Panama Canal, and they're having oversized commercialized liners coming through their cargo, eventually I know it's coming through the Panama Canal to Miami, eventually it's going to get to us. What are the possibilities of how it's going to enhance our area? I'm being selfish. I'm talking about Cocoa and Cocoa only right now. I mean, how is it advantageous for us? Because I know we have the 524 episode going on there, but how can it help us also too as well as an independent city?
You're asking, it's cargo, so how is the cargo, how is this transshipment of cargo going to help Cocoa?
Yes, sir. And the more jobs, the expansion of the port.
Jobs, obviously the opportunity up there, but then as well, anybody who has goods shipped here will be able to do it for less money, okay? It's the cheapest way to ship anything is by ship, and the closer you can get it to your home or your warehouse saves money. A good example is Melbourne Airport, one of the places, Embry Air or whatever, they build planes down there. Right now they ship the planes to Tampa and they truck these plane parts all the way across the state. We bring those train parts into our port, take them by barge down to Melbourne, and they're going to cut their shipping costs by a dramatic amount. But that's kind of business opportunities that we want people to think about.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, because I'm just trying to get the best bang for our buck right here in the city of Cocoa.
Again, your community development people, you guys, I mean, it's all part of that. There's 1,000, it's this way and that way, wide and deep opportunities. It's got to be explored.
We just got to make sure that Cocoa is part of it.
That's right.
Also, sorry, Mr. Blake.
That's it. Thank you for your presentation. Excellent.
I don't want to know your plans but are you on schedule for 524?
Absolutely. The answer is yes.
For a build-out, is that going to be in construction in the next 12 months?
Yeah, whatever the plan is, I'd have to pick it up, but I mean, we briefed that last week, and it's all about permitting and moving dirt and that sort of stuff, but the answer is, I mean, yes. I walked the place with the project manager, and, you know, this was about 3 weeks ago, and you missed that day, but
I was working.
He's excited about it.
Good. And number two is, just to re-clarify it, 528 route for rail, for cargo, our position is not to take any houses, and we're worried about even the more, they're going to 6-lane it at some point, but, and then the lagoon, okay, Indian River Lagoon. And I know all the controversy for the last, everybody knows, for the last several months. But when the report comes out, I mean, I just want you to know publicly, we're not for losing houses on 528. But 528 corridor, when you come off the bridge into the Cocoa, it gets really narrow.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a big problem. I mean, and I think, honestly, it's going to be like $250 or $300 million bucks to bring a rail from the port down that way. Yeah. And so it's probably a lot, cost effective to go.
That's right.
North. And so that's,
right.
We certainly want to see that happen.
And that's, and again, our preferred option,
right,
as well.
Yeah, and just I want everybody to hear this. I mean, we support the port. We want to see you diversify. We want jobs. We want jobs in Cocoa and around Cocoa. So that's our position. And
got it.
It's clear, huh?
Got it. Thank you very much. Thanks for the time.
Wayne, thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. That's my district. I live right down the street at Lost Lakes, and people are really glad that they're finally you guys are going to do something with that, because they're sick of going to Titusville or Vieira to eat and shop, and they're going to be able to go right there.
Let's hope so.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Wayne, thank you. Well, we're going to move on to delegations. Cat Man, you're up again.
Yeah, next time you want to talk, fill out a card.
Ooh.
That's no way to talk to your elders.
No.
That's pretty good. All right, Cat Man, how you doing?
Doing fine. Ed Lanny, 939 North Indian River Drive, Cocoa. I stand before you old and lonely, as a close friend left us to be with his Lord. The day I met Friday night, I knew right off I met a good man, world and community wise. During my world traveling career, I've met kings, queens, movie stars, and other people of prominence, of which my friend Friday was on that list. Close to 30 years, we were neighbors, partners in many of Cocoa's interests, such as local neighborhood, transportation, police and fire, beautification, anything to better Cocoa. At council meeting, he was there, did not hesitate to speak his mind for or against. His later days confined to a motor chair twice a day, passing by with his pets, Sam and Marmalade, picking up newspapers at the foot of the driveways, taking them up to the neighbor's door. Friday night, good man, dear friend, may you help the Lord as you did us here. I will miss you.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Captain. Okay, Lawrence Sinclair.
The pain has returned.
How's it going? Good.
I'm
Name and
trying to
address.
get the hang of this. Lawrence Sinclair, 1052 Mitchell Street, Cocoa. Also known as what I believe to be Cocoa City Council's future Housing Authority megaplex at the rate things are going. All right, real quick. Mr. Blake.
Sir.
We had a conversation on Saturday.
Correct.
I want to address some issues with the council. One of them being the fact that this particular neighborhood, Mitchell Street, Public Works, if we pay for storm runoff, You'd think that you'd have a storm drain that the runoff would go into instead of flooding our yards and driveways. I had to call and get an easement cleaned up last week, only to be told that they only maintain the right-of-way in the front of the place. I've been trying to get a hole big enough to be a lake in front of my driveway on the street filled in. And when I contacted Public Works, I was told I couldn't do anything without a permit. Now I find out that's your department. That's your responsibility, according to the woman I spoke with last week. So what can we do to get that? I've got pictures on my cell phone. If any of you want to see them, I'll be more than happy to email them to you. Just last week, Mitchell, between Park, Belafonte, Broadmoor, going towards Pineda, every rain, that entire street and every yard and every driveway is flooded. I'm not talking about an inch of water. I'm talking about completely flooded. Some areas are as deep as 6 and 7 inches because the right-of-way has just washed away. I understand people haven't been living in these houses for a while, but now they are. If I can maintain my property, I think the city can maintain its right-of-way. If you don't want to pay for it, then let me put the gravel or the concrete down to fix it. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm not going to have the city tell me I have to pay them another permit fee to fix a problem that should have been fixed already. That's number one. Crime in this area. I've already talked to Chief Cantaloupe. I've talked to Councilman Blake. I've listened to some of you guys' past meetings. I know all the city's demolitions, you know, the condemnations of properties in the area, the housing authority picking up a lot of these lots. Nothing personal. There's some homeowners in this area that do not come to these meetings because they've told me to my face, there's no use. You don't hear them. Mr. Mayor, I heard you just tell the Admiral, the rail project, the city's not going to lose a single house on the 528 corridor. I wish you would tell me and the homeowners in Broadmoor Acres that you would stand up and say, the city's not going to let another house go so the housing authority can build up even more in there. I don't know if the housing authority pays these fire assessment fees. I don't know if the housing authority pays property taxes. I just don't know. I haven't had the time to look it up. I have nothing against public housing. It's not the housing, it's the people that are in them. When I got ripped off on the 31st of October, my neighbors helped me identify the guy in 24 hours. Yet 3 weeks later, the police department still hasn't been able to do anything. Last year, in November, I sent Chief Cantaloupe an email. My house that I bought and have renovated was stripped to the core, every inch of wiring to the panel box. They even climbed into the attic. The police officer that responded, oh, there's no sense in dusting for prints. We'll never find him. If they had dusted for prints last year, I guarantee you it would have matched the guy who stole my lawnmower on the 31st. People in that neighborhood say, don't call the police, they don't care. I'm working with Chief Cantaloupe and with Councilman Blake. It's time that we let the people in that area know that they matter just as much as the houses along the river on the 528 corridor.
They all matter. Everybody matters.
Well,
That's not true what you said.
okay, I'm letting you know, I'm not saying it's not true. I am telling you this is what...
Mad to hear that. That's not true.
But this is what the residents in this neighborhood feel, Mr. Mayor. You can get angry about it, but if you...
I'm angry about
it. But if you have citizens that refuse to come to these meetings, do you know I've offered to drive everybody up here on my block? Orlean Whitberry has lived in her house for 40 years.
Yeah. Hey, listen, we've had this problem for 50 or 60 years, and I think we're reversing it. Okay, maybe not, you just moved here.
Okay.
I've been here a long time. Everybody's been here a long time. Lifetime.
Okay.
And so, believe me, we care about it. And we.
All right, and you're right, I just moved here. And you know what? I had to turn around and fight with your city building inspector because the house I bought was condemned because, by his condemnation, not mine, nuisance property. Because, and he told me, there's people on the property doing things that they shouldn't be doing in that neighborhood. And my question was, if you know this, how many police responses have been there? How many arrests were made? Okay? I understand, but you have to know how people in this neighborhood feel.
I agree. Okay.
I think I'm...
Yeah, your turn.
Yeah.
Just a response to that is, you know, I'm not for more housing, okay? And I don't support any projects for any more housing. You know, I'm for, putting...
Home ownership.
Home ownership, and Mr. Blake is too.
Then that's the meeting I watched. Exactly.
No, you didn't watch this one, because we had actually a committee meeting. John, remember who we had? The Housing Authority?
With the Housing Authority, Diamond Square.
Diamond Square.
and City Council.
Yeah, you had that on the public access channel, because he was saying that he is all
I guess it was.
for home ownership, but he's not for any more projects.
That's a different meeting you're
Okay.
talking about.
I think we all voted, didn't we?
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor, finish.
No, I just want to say this, and it fires us up hearing this. We care about every square inch of the city, and I'm telling you, I'm out all the time. I drive through your neighborhood all the time. Do I know everybody in there? No, not at all.
No, it's impossible for
Everybody.
you to do that.
Okay, but here's the thing, like as far as like HUD housing and all that, it's transitional housing it's supposed to be. But go read their mission statement. We have people in HUD housing for over 35 years.
I know.
Okay, and that's not right. And John knows. John, right when I was elected, met with the leader of HUD for the 2 or 3 states of Florida, and he just, he cares, but he didn't. He just backed up. He says, "Yeah, well, you're right."
And that's what I
And I'm
told
not
Councilman
saying-
Blake.
I'm
It's
with
just, you're fixing streets on the housing authorities lots, and yet the streets in the rest of the neighborhood, you just don't have adequate
I
drainage.
don't think as far as like flooding, are we aware of any of that? Or is the storm drains clogged up? Because I know that's a problem at times.
There's one drain.
Ed, do you know anything?
Yeah, Broadview Manor was constructed back probably in the 40s or 50s with rear lot swales where the water drains from the street to the back, and there's a ditch back there.
Okay, yeah.
And the fences have encroached, and it's hard to maintain. Some people have built sheds, some of it's overgrown, a lot of it we've tried to clear.
Right.
But it's the way it was built. Most subdivisions drain from the back to the front, and it goes to the gutter, and then goes down the gutter to the inlet. Broadview Manor is backwards. It has rear lot swales, and it's been like that since it was built, and it's a pain to maintain.
Okay, well, Broadmoor Acres, I'm not sure what Broadview is, but Broadmoor Acres.
Broadmoor.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just letting you know, if you go down Mitchell Street on any rainstorm, it doesn't drain to the back. I know the ditch you're talking about. I keep the back. It's not the back we're concerned with. It's the street. It's our front yards. It's the street itself.
Right, well, the drainage is supposed to go from the front to the back, and people have filled in the sides, filled in where the water, they've changed the way the water flows. So, there's not inlets in the front. That's.
Yeah, there's only one storm drain on the whole block.
Yeah, and that's the way it was built,
All right.
Okay, thank you. Brenda?
I just had a question of staff. What's this about the Housing Authority buying up lots in there?
I'm not aware the Housing Authority is on any mission to buy property.
I
know
just
they have
checked
some
4
issues.
streets, and they don't own any property on
And-
any of those streets unless they're buying it under somebody else's name.
I know that they've presented a proposal to us, as we've, based on that meeting, for the city to buy some of their surplus property for the future, to promote future homeownership.
But it's not in that neighborhood.
But it's not in that neighborhood. I don't know that this housing authority has the money at this point in time, on the tail end of coming out of, receivership by HUD, to be acquiring any property. But I will reach out. We actually meet with, I'll look at my calendar, we meet with the executive director of the Housing Authority and his staff, and Steve in Housing, Nancy Dresser and I meet on a monthly basis to include the chief.
Okay.
So we will bring it up at the next meeting, but they've never indicated that they were on a pursuit to purchase additional property. They're trying to get the property that they have now either sold or developed, not buy any more property. I think that's a rumor. That's misinformation. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't see where they own any
Well,
property there right now.
Be careful what you say, because we get fired up, I'm telling you.
I like it when you get fired up.
Good, okay, good. Mr. Blake?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Seeing that Deputy Mayor stole my thunder from the first part about the Housing Authority, my second question will be, Mr. Sinclair, Lawrence, sir, I thank you for your phone call and collaboration, but I'm asking you for you and your members to organize a lookout group. I can't think of the correct term.
Neighborhood watch.
Neighborhood watch, thank you. I'm from the old school, a neighborhood watch. And I know in the past, our chiefs have provided services, locations for you guys to meet and giving you ideas. And if the members of your community, and I will be there, and whomever, inviting all council members as well, that I'll be more than happy to participate. We can't, may I finish, please, and I'll listen to you. We can and we will provide service for you, but you got to meet us halfway. And I'm old country boy. You catch flies by using honey, not vinegar.
All right.
Okay?
To your suggestion,
Sir.
I have actually sent everybody, every resident, every neighbor in that entire subdivision an invitation to meet on my front yard. I understand you say there's power in numbers.
Right.
I want to see the power in numbers of people who are trying to do something good for the community and not turn around and leave it in the few that have the power to rip people off and strip people's houses.
Please make sure I get an invitation, the mayor gets an invitation, council, city manager, et cetera, and the chief, of course.
Yep.
But you can bank on me. I'm like the Undertaker. We're like the Undertaker. Last one to let you down, last one to throw the dirt in your face.
That's right.
Okay.
Lawrence, thanks for coming. Paul Camus? We need help in those neighborhoods over there.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, please tell us you're bringing us a check, man.
Yeah, you're bringing us a check, Paul? Okay.
Paul Camus, 116 Olive Street, Cocoa 32922. I'm actually here hoping that I will be getting a check from you. Hey, October 30th, District 1, let's relocate over onto Mitchell.
We're at Billy Smith for
District 1, Town Hall meeting.
next time, not this time.
Okay.
Next time.
So that brings light to their situation.
Absolutely.
Just a suggestion. Thank you all for being here and for serving our community. We're all in this together because we all live in the city, and I think it's great. Look at the youth that we have in our audience tonight, and hopefully some positive comes of this.
Jarheads.
I don't know if y'all are aware, but the first responder games for the state of Florida is in the works process at this time. I just played the last 2 days golf with our Cocoa firefighters. We didn't do so well, but it's a good outing. Today we teamed up with a couple guys from Jacksonville Fire Department, so we got to know what was going on with there. 2 weeks ago, if you remember, I brought up about the 6-hour shift for our firefighters, so it gave me an opportunity to talk to them about that, and they were kind of like, wow, gives them something to think about. As I stated earlier about the inflation check, I was hoping to hear back from, I haven't heard anything back from the city as far as I'm going to get that in the form of a check or anything, so that's why I'm here tonight asking if there's anything moving forward on that.
Mr. City Manager?
Yeah, actually I got information today, and the $52.10 difference equates to the exact amount that the current rate of the solo pay is in the city. I mean, when you look at the interest rate, it just, at this point in time, the city's not recommending, providing an enhanced, reimbursing. I mean, we found an error, we corrected it. Mr. Camus was not aware of the error, and we provided him the money that he was owed. And we notified his pension board appropriately.
And with that being said, I just had an example of, we're all on the City of Cocoa water system, and we have to pay a water bill every month. But if you don't pay that water bill on time, there's a late fee. So maybe I shouldn't have said an adjustment for inflation. Maybe I should have called it a late fee. This is money I should have got over 4 years ago. I'm just now getting. So I was looking at that. We won't call it inflation. Let's call it a late fee. So it's just something else to consider. If you don't want to consider it, no problem. I understand. Back on August the 11th, I came in front of you about a Keep Brevard Beautiful sign. The next day, this is how quick our city works. The next day, the person in charge of the sign with Keep Brevard Beautiful got a call from the city saying, no, you can't put a sign in because there's road construction. Plus, I have to fill out an application. So I got this adoption papers from Keep Brevard Beautiful. But as I read them, I think it's more geared for the not yet incorporated areas of Brevard, also known as unincorporated.
Yeah, unincorporated.
So that's a new term I hope you guys will adopt.
Yeah.
Not yet incorporated, because there's a lot of not yet incorporated in cocoa.
How about not cocoa?
Right.
So anyway, I do see there are adopt a road signs that have city decals on them. So maybe we could get one of those as opposed to a Keep Brevard Beautiful sign. Maybe we could get a adopt a road litter control from, I'm looking to get it right there at Olive and Bay, actually. It's not right on US 1 because of the road construction, but there is a speed limit sign it could be attached to. It's like over here on Mitchell, we're trying to improve our street on Olive as well. We're trying to make things look good. Just like a neighborhood watch sign. I've been there for 25 years. That same sign's been there the whole 25 years. I know there's newer ones out, and I've asked folks in the police department about getting one, but we still got an old one, so.
Right.
Anyway, we're just trying to make things look better. And last meeting, there was a lady who came up and saw a fire truck at Publix.
Oh.
Now, there's no indication it was one of ours. Could have been another agency, you know, the Regional Response Agency. Just to let the folks know, our apparatus range in number from 30 to 33. So if you look on the apparatus, you could tell if it's a COCO or some other agency. But the other day I was at Lowe's in Rockledge, and I know the unit that covers Lost Lakes was at Lowe's. So just keep that in mind, that sometimes your vehicle that you're expecting to come to your emergency could be elsewhere.
Right.
Have any questions?
What does that number 6 stands for?
That's six-pack. I got your 6 o'clock. It's for the military, meaning I got your back. So that's what this says. We got our military's back.
Cool. John, just real fast on the on his signs. Is there any way we can have Ed or somebody look into it that could, you know, double up on a few of the signs, maybe?
I'll talk with them, and I also want to confer with the police chief about putting a sign on a speed limit sign. There might be some issues there.
Might be a problem
but
with
yeah.
that.
Or in the general location.
Okay.
Thank you for your
Paul?
time and for your service. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay. We're gonna move on. Playhouse sitting here.
No Jeremy?
No Playhouse?
Alan, you didn't put a card in, did you?
I did not.
Okay, just check. Okay. So we'll move forward.
No Emma either? Nobody's talking tonight?
So move.
No Village, no Playhouse, nothing going on? We got a chili cook-off coming up, nobody wants to talk about that?
Yeah, we're good.
We'll be talking about that at the next council meeting.
Okay, good. Okay.
October.
That's a strong hint.
We'll also report on car show and Super Stroll.
All right.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna move the consent.
So move.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you. Then we're gonna go to public hearing. Super Attorney Kurganese.
Okay. First public hearing, resolution of the City
Bless you.
Council, City of Cocoa, Brevard County, Florida, adopting a final, hold on one second. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Cocoa, Brevard County, Florida, adopting a final millage rate for the City of Cocoa for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2015, announcing the percentage by which the final millage rate exceeds the rollback rate, providing for severability, providing for repeal of inconsistent resolutions, and providing for an effective date. And this is the final millage rate hearing, also a public hearing item. Mayor.
Okay, John?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members
They
of
got a
council.
stopwatch.
What's that?
I was asking if anyone had a stopwatch.
Oh. I'm gonna be
Nikki said
quick.
that.
Okay.
As the city attorney indicated in the resolution, purpose of this evening is to twofold: adopt the final millage rate and also adopt the final budget. The first item before you is the millage rate, and at the last meeting, you set the tentative millage rate at 5.9790. The tentative millage rate cannot exceed the millage rate of 5.9790, but can go less. Step 2 to gang is to adopt the final budget. real quick, just as you can see, we've grown 4.6%. I'm going to go to the bottom line on every one of these slides. This is the third time you've heard this in this format, plus there was the one the priorities workshop that we did with Michael Burton. So really it's about the fourth time you've gotten this history to some extent. So the ad valorem base grew this year by 4.6%. Compared to last year, we had about 1.1% with an increase at that 5.9790. That's the year-to-date collection, about $4.5 million in property taxes. This is our financial sustainability snapshot, not scrapshot. Again, no changes in millage. In other words, put us on a path to financial sustainability, modest property values growth. You can see the black line represent the reserve target 4 months, O&M expenses, the projected reserve balance, spending reserves down if we go the way we're currently going. Blue line represents cash coming in, revenue, and the red line expenses coming out, and we've all come to the determination that's unsustainable projection. We're using your reserves to fund our cash flow deficit. So there's a number of things that we put in place. Won't review all of them. I think we've working with council and based on your guidance and direction, we've carried through with them. The first one that's before you, as Anthony read in the resolution, was the adoption of the FY 2016 millage rate. The staff proposed, council established or set the current tentative rate at 5.9790, which is the exact rate as last year. The rollback rate, just for general knowledge, is 5.8401%. There's about $96,000 difference, $97,000 difference when you budget it at the 95% statutory requirement. What does it mean to a single-family property owner? On the far right, you see the difference for a $100,000 home, post-homestead, it's $5 a year. For a $150,000 home, post-homestead exemption, it's $7 a year. Jump all the way down, a $300,000 home, post-homestead exemption, it's $14 a year. Just comparing city rates, City of Cocoa, we've about a 2.38% increase. It's one of the lowest outside of Cape Canaveral. It is the lowest outside of Cape Canaveral's, who is decreasing their millage overall. But as you can see there, everyone else is pretty much either doing their current millage and or just slightly or still going above the rollback rates. So I'll go forward. Again, this is where we are, and based on the financial sustainability plan that council's put us, and provided direction to make sure that we have the decisions you make today can be funded in 5 and 6 and 7 years. This is where we'll be in terms of not using the reserves, maintaining a healthy reserve balance, having a sufficient enough money to, undertake a capital plan that's reasonable and affordable, and then also the red and blue lines show that you're getting to the point of being fiscally sustainable over the long term. And it's our recommendation that you continue to do that. Public announcement, the City of Cocoa is the taxing authority. The rollback rate is 5.8401 mils. The rollback rate is a 0% increase over last year's in terms of the amount of money would come in at that rate. The millage rate to be levied, proposed, and that's been set as the tentative rate, is 5.9790. And the millage rate of 5.9790 does represent a tax increase of 2.38% over the calculated rollback rate. So with that, Council, the action is to approve Resolution 2015-063, which adopts the final millage rate for fiscal year 2016. So we'll turn to the public hearing for public comment and City Council question and comments.
John, I would like to make it clear that the 5.979 is the current rate.
That is the current millage rate, correct?
We're charging this year.
That's correct. And that is critical just for the members and the public as we try to put the city in a long-term financially sustainable plan, at least for the initial, between now and the next 4 years, to keep it there so we get on that plan and we can pay for future generations, the expenses that will be incurred. So that I'll return to council.
Okay. We're going to
open it to the public.
Yeah, we're going to open this up to the public, and we're going to start off with Lawrence Sinclair. How about that?
I think I got a target on my head. All right.
Lawrence Sinclair, 1052 Mitchell Street, Cocoa, and I'm not actually here to oppose this.
Sorry.
I have no problem with the millage rate.
Good.
However, in the future, I remember something Councilman Blake said the last meeting on the fire assessment vote. You're all about safety. People are just going to have to make adjustments.
Public hearing, just so you can see, it does represent the $2 million for fire station renewal that's coming out of the reserves, as well all the other changes, the other change that I mentioned you would see with the city summer youth program, and then everything, the general fund contingency of $98,000. There is one thing I'm going to share with you that's not in this budget, but based on conversations and meetings with our community services department, we are doing a reorganization, which would have required us to lay off one individual to reclassify that position to create a building inspector position, because the demand is starting to increase and we didn't want to increase the head count. However, we were fortunate to find the employee prior to the layoff a position within the city. So that's good news, and what will happen in the upcoming years, you'll see we're going to add staff to building and permitting, one person to provide some assistance so we can keep that level of service. We just had Adamson Creek come in, and they just got a subdivision approved, at least another phase of their subdivision, for 250 new homes. So that's
250?
250.
Great.
So anyway, so that's going to come after the beginning of the year, just so we were looking at this at the last, near the latter part. There's money in there for the renewal of the fire station, $8 million, Jolie Smith Center for Justice, some monies for continuing engineering. And the thing that we did mention you would see in there is the $20,000 split between water and sewer and general fund for the city summer youth employment program. And that's all I have. It just goes back to probably should put that slide sooner. But the general fund budget being the overall budget for the city being $147,833,262, which represents a 0.1% increase over the previous year's budget. And the requested action is to approve Resolution 2015-66. I'll return early. Just giving you a heads up on that. Okay. And then last and certainly not least, but it's last week was a very, I think, emotional week for a lot of people in the city, right, and especially for members of our law enforcement community, as there was a child that was missing in Cocoa Beach. And I would personally like to thank the city of Cocoa Beach, FDLE, Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, Melbourne PD, Palm Bay, all the Cocoa officers that went over there, many of them on their own time, to search and look for Cole Monda. And it's just it just when you start off and then at the end result at 12:20 was just it was an amazing outcome, and we're very grateful, and we're thankful that Cole's sleeping at home safe and sound right now. And so I would just like to thank everybody, including the mayor coming out. I think it meant a lot to the police department. And again, want to extend our thanks to Cocoa Beach for opening up and extending their hospitality and using their resources, for such a successful outcome. I know it impacted a lot of people, and so it's well appreciated.
People at Cocoa Beach were pretty amazing too.
Yes, they were. Absolutely. The citizens coming by the house was amazing, and we're certainly glad for our employee.
Okay.
That's all, Mr. Mayor.
That's it. Okay. Thank you. Mr. Blake?
Coach Wilkerson and staff and the players for doing an outstanding job in defeating Lake Howell Prep in Orlando. We have our hands full, but I know the Tigers will persevere because we command success. We're playing just south of us, Vieira High School, this coming Friday, a home game. So come one, come all. I think it's going to be a great game. I know it will. And the Tigers will. This past Saturday, this weekend, many people showed up. They were thoroughly impressed, so kudos to the Cocoa Historic Village. I'm saying that right, Miss Elliott? Okay. Next, we'd like to say congratulations to Dr. Jolie Smith. He had a street named in his honor, street naming in his honor. So we'd like to say one of our own homegrown, Dr. Jolie Smith from the great city of Cocoa, had a street named in his honor. Early part of last month, I think it was, right?
Isn't it his streets in South Cook?
Yes, sir, it's in South Cocoa, yes. I think it's called Edward formerly, but now it's called Dr. Jolie Smith Street, so kudos to that. Yeah, we had open house that night at Cocoa High School, so I wasn't able to attend. Kudos to you, Ms. Butler, you and Leah both for an outstanding job, ma'am. You sit so patiently and quietly, quiet than a church mouse, but we want to say thank you. Great things come out of that corner. Great things come from Team Cocoa. So we say thank you very much. I know I'm going to get in trouble, but what's new? One of our employees here at the great city of Cocoa, son just completed boot camp. Ms. Carrie Sheely, her son just. There was a home there. We want to originally put sidewalk there, right there on Roselle between Georgia and South Carolina. And what had happened, a very important individual, a matron of that community at the time, asked not to have a sidewalk on her property because she had flowers. Since then, she's gone on to heaven, and a lot of citizens have called me and asked me about a sidewalk right there on Roselle between Georgia and South Carolina. It's right on the corner. People are riding on one of the neighbor's yard, and he's kind of fed up. And they're walking out in the street because we don't have a sidewalk there. So I'd like to charge that to you. His name is Randall Ivy. I can give you the exact home address. It's not a problem, but he and a few other individuals called me, and I want to share that with you. I was hoping maybe he'll get out tonight and convey his thoughts, but seeing that he didn't, I took the charge and want to share that with you, sir. It's right around the corner. I'm sure you're familiar with it, sir.
Yeah, we can look at putting a sidewalk there.
Yes, sir. Well, just for the future, I want to share that with you. And Mr. City Manager also too as well.
Again, that was really cool. And I also want to thank the city staff, because the city staff sent me a get well card as well. And I thank everybody who was involved with that. Makes you feel good when somebody's thinking about you sometimes. Horseshoe Lake status. Anybody got anything for me on that? The people came meeting before last and...
Yes, Councilman Furbish, I actually went out there today myself with our code enforcement officer and the property owner of the lake to really kind of see what the situation is, and I'm frustrated by the length of time this has been taking as well as the residents out there. So I went out there and we looked at it into the property. There is a fence at the end of Fisk. It's been locked. There's actually a wooden fence with a gate. It's been locked apparently. He's been unable to gain access to get to the pond. There's only one way in. So today he was able to gain access. So we actually walked through there.
He was able to gain access to
today. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Today, but the problem is it's very heavily vegetative with the overgrowth around the pond just to get to the pond. So it's going to be difficult to get equipment back there until he can get it cleared. So I told him he needs to get somebody out there immediately to start working on it. The pond, you wouldn't even know there's a pond there. It is the
so
growth.
Overgrown. Yeah.
It is significant. It's very tall. The other part of the issue is the property owners surrounding the pond have kind of encroached with their fences, so along the perimeter. So it is a difficult situation, but we did meet with him out there, and so I've stressed to him the importance of addressing it immediately. Okay. And we told him to keep us informed every day of his progress.
And you'll inform the residents in the area of what the progress is?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Very good. And you know that two of those residents who live side by side have said, you can come through my property to get over there, so.
And if that's an option, then we will certainly may have to take.
Okay. Right.
It may be difficult with.
Probably a last resort type option.
It would be, to get equipment back, there would probably be fencing that would have to be removed. Yeah. All those properties do have fences there, so hopefully it's just easier just to clear a path to get back there. But it is pretty heavy. We walked through there, and you're not getting any vehicle back there right now. So.
Right. Okay, yeah. All right, so it's being worked on.
Absolutely.
You feel good about the progress?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. I had this idea from Palm Bay and from Titusville, and I think we got some property around here that the city owns that maybe we could put a use some tiny houses maybe, and I know Deputy Mayor kind of likes tiny houses.
I just want one.
And make a little village for homeless veterans. I mean, we could do something. I think it's something we ought to think about. It's not something I'm jumping up and down about, but, you know, or demanding or anything, but I think it's something we ought to, that's maybe something we could really do. And then what we would do, my thinking is, we don't want to run that. We just want to build it and own it, and then let one of these veterans organizations pick the who lives there and